South African National Parks has reopened its 5-year Rangers uniform contract. For textile and workwear manufacturers, winning tender GNP-058-25-A establishes a 5-year stream of recurring, recession-proof revenue. The scale of this mandate is massive. The winning supplier will manufacture and deliver uniforms and specialized footwear for rangers spread across 21 national parks. You are outfitting personnel in some of the most visible, high-traffic conservation areas on the continent, including Kruger National Park and Table Mountain National Park. These garments take serious abuse. Rangers rely on this gear daily for anti-poaching operations, guest safety, and deep bush conservation work. The manufacturing quality has to be flawless. But there is a catch. This is a re-advertisement. The previous round of bidding failed to produce a supplier capable of handling the requirements. That failure proves exactly how demanding this contract is. It requires an exceptionally high threshold of operational capability, forcing you to look hard at your own return on investment before you spend a single rand putting a bid together. The friction starts immediately with the submission deadline. You have until exactly 11 a.m. on May 11th, 2026 to finalize your paperwork, and you have to put it in a physical box. All proposals must be deposited by hand at the main gate tender box at 643 Lade Street in Muckleneuk, Pretoria. SANParks will not accept internet submissions. They will not accept email attachments. If your physical packet arrives at 11:01 a.m., it will be rejected without review. There is a zero-tolerance policy for late deliveries. This creates an immediate logistical barrier for any supplier operating outside of Gauteng. You can hire a courier, but that introduces a massive variable completely out of your control. If their truck breaks down on the N1, your bid is dead. This physical drop-off requirement acts as the first unforgiving filter. It forces suppliers to put real time and resources on the line, risking complete disqualification before a single page is even evaluated. Once the bid is in the box, you face your first major trade-off, weighing the heavy burden of government compliance against secure Treasury funding. Administratively, you have to navigate the strict frameworks of the Preferential Procurement Regulations of 2022. You must provide exhaustive documentation proving your B-BBEE compliance is flawless and up to date. You also need an active registration on the Central Supplier Database and the appropriate CIDB grading applied to your supply chain. Clearing that red tape provides eligibility for a highly lucrative, secure source of public funding, backed by a Schedule 3A public entity. The immediate cost, however, is a massive drain on your internal resources. Your team will spend hundreds of hours pulling together the specific legal proofs required just to assemble the proposal. Public sector procurement leaves no room for error. A minor formatting mistake or a missing signature will trigger an automatic disqualification, regardless of your manufacturing capability. Your shot at 5 years of guaranteed revenue depends entirely on achieving absolute perfection in your administrative paperwork today. This chart plots the input effort required for this contract against the actual business impact. Let's look at the operational trade-offs. First, the mandate requires you to manage consistent multi-provincial deliveries across 21 isolated locations. You're running distinct manufacturing lines, durable textiles for uniforms, and rugged production for boots. This yields a 5-year recurring revenue stream, anchoring your company through downturns. But you need immense upfront capital to secure materials before your first invoice. Treasury frameworks delay cash flow, forcing you to front initial costs. This creates high supply chain vulnerability. If a supplier lags, your entire national rollout stalls. SANParks won't wait. Failing to meet delivery schedules across the 5-year term introduces heavy contractual penalties. Winning this contract is financially meaningless and potentially ruinous if you lack the cash flow to finance the very first production cycle independently. The tender details are clear, but the real question is whether your current business infrastructure can handle the weight of the work. Let's start with your current business infrastructure. Does your company possess an updated CSD registration and top-tier B-BBEE compliance? If the answer is no, walk away. Save your bid preparation capital. If you pass the compliance check, do you control high-volume manufacturing and logistics? If you are a compliant distributor but lack direct manufacturing capacity, You must identify strategic partnerships or subcontractors immediately. If you answer yes to both compliance and high-volume capacity, you are the primary target for this tender. Objectively identifying your position on this framework is the only way to prevent the costly mistake of bidding blindly. Established textile manufacturers and large-scale corporate clothing suppliers should aggressively pursue this contract. You already have the logistics networks required to execute simultaneous multi-provincial rollouts. Boutique workwear brands and mid-size suppliers who lack the upfront capital to scale should sit this one out. If you are moving forward, start your preparation immediately. The runway to the May 11th deadline is short. Sourcing your materials is critical. Ensure all tender documents are pulled directly from the official SANParks website or the National Treasury e-tender portal. Do not rely on third-party aggregators for the complex technical specifications required for the boots and uniforms. The SANParks tender is a highly lucrative 5-year anchor, but you should only pursue it if your compliance paperwork and your cash reserves are as robust as your stitching.